And we are live. We got some good news to talk about in California. This is outstanding. This is I just let's just dig into it. This is great stuff. Good morning, everybody. I'm telling you, you couldn't ask for better news coming out of California. You just couldn't. This is all I had hoped for and more. It is fantastic. These are the results so far. It is going to be Javier Becerra versus Steve Hilton, and I'm telling you, I couldn't have asked for any better. If you look at the results, Republicans is like, "Ooh, Steve Hilton got more votes." Yeah, okay, you be happy for right now. Go ahead, but take a look at the fact that Javier Becerra and Tom Steyer pulled in nearly twice so far. By the time they're done counting, it's the big population counties that are going heavily for Becerra that are that are still counting, still bringing in results. The Democrats will have literally doubled Steve Hilton's numbers by the time this is over, and we won't be splitting our votes. I had the strangest conversation. I did. I had somebody that I thought they were a bot at first, but then I went and looked at their account, and they were just kind of repeating what bots were saying. They were an actual person, but they were saying Javier Becerra is a corporate Democrat because he takes corporate money. That's why I'm voting for Tom Steyer. Let me see if I got this right. You're upset because shit's not free, yo. And Javier Becerra took donations from corporations. That bothers you, but it doesn't bother you that Tom Steyer is the corporation. I mean, not only is he the corporation, he's the worst kind of corporation. He's private equity. You know, the people that that do things like buy out Red Lobster and then destroy. I mean, what? Oh my God. I knew that was going to fall flat. I knew that was going to fall flat. I really did. I knew that was going to fall flat. There are tons of results still coming in. So we're going to do a breakdown on this on Friday. But the big news being, but it's going to be Becerra. It's going to be Becerra. And I want to thank all of you that made the commercials, that took the time to do the I'm voting Becerra because he gives a shit commercials. I really appreciated you doing that. This is the result. I'm telling you, we couldn't ask for a better result. Why? Coattails, baby. Coattails. The top of the ticket matters. And you could not create two candidates that are more different. Javier Becerra is going to drive votes anyways in this environment, but opposed to Steve Hilton. If you don't know who Steve Hilton is the bumbling Brit behind Brexit. He is a moron. He was David Cameron's top strategist when they called for the referendum, leading to the referendum on Brexit. One of the greatest political I mean, next to Trump attacking Iran for no frickin' reason, Brexit has got to be one of the most galactically stupid maneuvers we've seen in a very, very, very long time. And yeah, Hilton is all over that. Uh, he's a Brit. I mean, for one, I mean, nothing against our British friends. I mean, we have several British people in our audience right now that are good people. But yeah, not well liked back home. That's why he's here. And that's why he is a Fox News contributor. He had a show, The Revolution, with Steve Hilton on Fox News. This is what's running against Javier Becerra, the guy with the resume longer than my arm, the guy with actual governing experience, the guy that is just well liked, personable. I couldn't. I'm telling you, folks, the bumbling Brexit Brit versus Becerra. This. Oh my God, I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. I saw these results coming in. My nightmare scenario was that Tom Steyer and Becerra went, ended up being 1 and 2, and it ended up being an all Democratic primary, because Steyer, one, he's got boatloads of money to burn. He wants to buy, some position in government. He wants to carve his name into history besides being the private equity guy. And he's, look, I don't believe he's a Democrat. I don't. My personal assessment is I don't believe the guy's a Democrat. So yeah, this was not something I was looking forward to, Becerra versus Steyer in the general in November. But Becerra versus Hilton, oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. I can't tell you how happy I am. I cannot tell you how happy I am. You can't slap the smile off my face when I saw that this morning. I was watching the results come in kind of slow last night, and they do. They come in. Look, LA is one of the largest cities in the country. The metro area is, it's going to take a while to count all those votes. So yeah, but it'll be late today before you get, things finally 100%, called and all that good stuff. But yeah, it is. It's Becerra versus Hilton, and I'm telling you, folks, I'm going to say it one more time. You couldn't ask for a better race going into November. The momentum that's already behind Democrats, then you've got these two candidates that couldn't be more different. Oh yeah, the coattails in California are going to be. Oh yeah, I am super, super excited. SG, aka SG, Brit here can vouch for how bat poo crazy Brexit is. We are the first country in the world to impose economic sanctions on ourselves. I'm sorry, brother. I apologize. I'm sorry for laughing, but you nailed it. You nailed it. I mean, I'm telling you, this is going to be so fun to beat the shit out of Steve Hilton for the next several months. I mean, this is going to be a joy. A joy. William Brown, NBA. Good morning, Texas Ball, Mr. Texas Ball. All you ride or die mods and my fellow potheads are always a better day when we are together. Amen, brother. Welcome to new members. Welcome to the new members. I want you to take a second, folks, to hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button. There will be people offering memberships throughout the show for free. If you're not a member, try it out. Take one of the free memberships. And yeah, let's grow this and get this, because the messaging is important. It is. Narratives are everything. What we're doing here is important. Let's get the momentum rolling before the election. Let's do it. Jordan B. Miller, I was watching the vote totals, and all the primaries and the Democrat votes are crushing Republican votes. They are. Friday's going to be so much fun, folks. Friday is going to be so much fun. It is. I mean, it's going to be a blast looking at these numbers. Fairy Dust, I voted for Becerra. I made that commercial. I pray Steve Hilton doesn't win. Why do you think Steyer didn't get on the ticket? People tend to have a sense about things. I mean, look at it. Steyer's biggest attack that he pushed all over social media was Becerra's a corporate dim. He's establishment. The dude is private fucking equity. Really? That'd be like a KKK member accusing their opponent of being racist. I mean, come on, man. This is just stupid. Just stupid. Yeah. People have a good sense of things. They do. When you can get the narrative out there, and the narratives that are really dumb, people pick up on it right away. They really do. Speaking of dumb, we got a lot to talk about. This is the kind of stupid stuff we've got going on. Kudos to Midas Touch for blowing this up. People are duplicating. They posted this. This is freaking hilarious. This is Mike Rogers. This is Mike Rogers actually on the left. He's an old dude. He is. He's an old dude. He is. His staffers thought it would be a good idea to run that picture through AI, and they released it. They released the picture on the right as Mike Rogers. No kidding. They legitimately released this from his campaign. Oh my God. They did. They legitimately released this from his campaign. I'm not even kidding. Let me blow this up. Let me see if I can blow this up and get you a better look at this. This is freaking hilarious. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Look at this. The actual picture on the left. Oh my God. And people are having a blast with it. Oh my God. All over social media. People are just absolutely having a blast. With this. They really are. They are so rolling him. They roll. This is the Lincoln Project. Go more natural next time, Mike. Man, I tell you what, I hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. I really do. I really do. Oh my God. That's that peach you sent me there. That's it. That's that peach you sent me. Oregon wine lady. That's that peach you sent me. Thank you so much. So much. I really appreciate you. There's a lot going on. There really is a lot going on. But you know what? Before we get too far along, you know me. I I don't I don't disparage Democrats. I don't. I don't. I mean, you got to really do something bad for me to talk shit about a Democrat. So let me get this out there. The reason I'm talking about this isn't because I don't like the guy. I do. I do. I do like the guy. I think he's a good governor. I really do. Um, but you know me. You know what my goal is. My goal is to drive the Democratic Party, one, pull it left, hard left. We've moved too far to the right. We have. The other thing is fight, punch in the throat, kick in the cooter. Anything we got to do, fight. Don't do shit like what Jared Polis did. Don't. Jared Polis got threatened by Trump, and he folded. He folded. He commuted Tina Peters' sentence, and this is him talking about it.
But we have to make sure that this sentence is a result of the actual crime committed. In this case, it was out of whack. She still got a harsh sentence. She's a convicted felon for the rest of her life. And I think, did she learn her lesson to follow the law? I sure hope so. Certainly didn't change her mind on her crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember when that happened? We talked about it on the show. Well, this is Tina Peters. She hasn't learned shit. She isn't grateful for anything.
I know that the Democrats are going to cheat, and no.
And forgive the audio on this. I don't control the audio on this. That is not me. It's not a technical issue on my end. You're just going to have to kind of like put the phone up to your ear, turn the volume way up. It's the shitty volume on Real America's Voice. But yeah, this is her.
I know that the Democrats are going to cheat, and no one's really addressing the problem that that I spent my time in prison as retribution for, and that was exposing the election machines that allow the
Blah, 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 blah. The elections were stolen. I was right. How you feeling today, Jared Polis? How you feeling today? You commuted her sentence, and she hasn't learned shit. She's already on podcasts. She's talking to Steve Scabby Bannon. Come on, man. Come on. You do not play nice with Republicans. You do not. Fuck decency. Fuck decency. Kick them in the cooter, and when they're down, kick them again. Kick them again. Jesus Christ, man. I don't know what it's going to take for these people to do. And I got another Democrat talking nice to Todd Blanche. Pissing me off, people. You're pissing me off. But that's okay. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. I'm too happy about what happened in California to let's talk about a little bit about what happened with Todd Blanche. One second. Where are you? Where are you? There we go. There you go. Let's start out with a fighter. Let's start out with Madeline Dean. This is Madeline Dean and Todd Blanche talking. And Todd Blanche sat down before her committee. And she is not letting him off for the Epstein bullshit. She isn't. She's just punching him right in the face. And I want you to hear what she says about Trump.
Been in the room. I have been there. This is what I had to do, to transcribe, to show what is true. What is true is that the president has lied about being on Epstein's plane.
What? What did she just, let me back that up a little bit. What?
Transcribe to show what is true. What is true is that the president has lied about being on Epstein's plane, and the unredacted files prove that. There's a lot in here. I'm shocked at this. There's also this set of files in the file. This is investigation into the potential co-conspirators of Jeffrey Epstein. I almost used up all the blank ink in the hallway because it's all covered up.
Yeah, she didn't pull any punches. She did. She nailed him. She did. And yeah, I mean, there's so much going on that it didn't even really hit the news that Madeline Dean said, look, from your files, I have fact that Donald Trump lied about being on it. Remember when he said that? Oh, I was never with them. Not me. Not me. This is everybody. This is Democrats. Yeah, well, buddy, she got you. She got you. Yeah. And of course, Blanche is like, well, it's over. It's done. It's not over. It's not. Wait to the midterms, baby. Wait to the midterms. We're just getting started. We are just getting started. This is Grace Wing. Grace Ming. Wing. Grace Ming. Give me just a second. Pull her up. Grace really does a good job here. Congresswoman Ming does a really good job here. She really does nail Blanche about, well, here, let me just let you hear it. But then in the end, anyways, let me just let you hear it and then we'll talk about it.
Mr. Attorney General, I want to thank you for verbally committing to not moving forward with the so-called anti-weaponization fund. I just want to make sure, are you going to issue a new memo in writing, rescinding that May 18th memo?
I'm not committing to putting anything in writing. I'm going to say it today
Nothing in
over and
writing.
over
Okay,
again. I mean, I don't know what the purpose of putting something in writing. I'm telling you what we're doing. Meaning, like, why do I need to put something in writing if I'm telling you what we're doing?
Well, you started it, you established it in writing, so it just makes sense to rescind it in writing. I think a lot of Americans, both sides of the aisle, are concerned about it, and it would restore a lot of trust about this issue.
Okay, I'm not committing to doing anything in
You're not
writing. No,
committing. Okay.
I mean, I'll take it under advisement.
I'm just concerned because you're not under oath, and I want to trust you and I want to believe you. We all do. But putting it in writing would settle that issue.
Okay. All right. If you missed the big bombshell news yesterday, Todd Blanche said the $1.8 billion slush fund, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But they're totally doing that. And you can tell they're doing it because his response, oh, no, I'm not putting that in writing. Well, you put it in writing when you established it. Why won't you put it in writing that you're trashing it? Commit. Oh, no. I wouldn't even testify under oath. It's bullshit. Trump is going to grift that money. He is. But what got me, damn it, Congresswoman Ming, damn it. What is this? I want to trust you. I want to bullshit. You cannot trust Todd Blanche any farther than you could frickin' throw him. And you have just sat through an entire hearing where they have just raked him over the coals for falsehoods, bullshits, covering up, obfuscation of duty over and over. But I want to trust you. And it would go long ways if you just put, come on, man. Shh. Come on. Do you even watch the show? Jesus Christ, man. Toughen up. Toughen up. This is not your friend. This is not your friend. But yeah, that's the big news. I'm going to call bullshit on it. Todd Blanche very clearly said the $1.8 billion slush fund that Trump was going to dole out to him and all his buddies. No, it's not going to happen. The DOJ is not going to do that. That's what he's claiming. But the simple fact that he will just not put it in a memo in writing saying, we're not doing this. We put it in writing that said we are going to do it, but we will not put in writing that we're not going to do it after all. Why? Daddy gonna get that money. Shit. Who here? I want to take a quick poll. This is a live show with a live audience. We are a community here. Who here believes Todd Blanche when he says, nah, they're not going to hand out that money? I mean, who's buying that? Who's buying that? I tell you what, I'm going to read a couple of your comments and we'll come back and take a look. Corey, welcome. Glad to see it. Grab the memberships. Kyra loves Michael. Thank you for being so generous. There are free memberships out there for you to try out. Try them out. Courtesy of Kyra. Dottie, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for gifting the membership, Dottie. Thank you very much. Very generous of you. Yvette Sweet, 3-month membership. Salute. 14 cutie baby. Who are you backing in Michigan? I love El Sayed. I am backing the Democrat. That's who I'm backing. Midas Simon, Brit here from Lancashire, England. I voted Remain. You know, a lot of good people did. That was a very close vote, man. I am not disparaging, you know, our friends in the UK. I am not. I'm not. I am not. You know me better than that. I just there's no way to hem haw around it. Brexit was one of the stupidest financially, you know, as far as security, everything. Brexit was one of the stupidest things. It was one of those damn conservative right-wing wet dreams about how, oh, we're important. Same shit Donald Trump's doing right now with the rest of the world. We're important. You better treat us like we're important. You know, we're gonna do our own thing, and then you find out, oh shit, it really is a global community, and this do our own thing kind of sucks. Yeah. Mike Daly, the morning brother, Becerra in California, Acton in Ohio, Hinojosa for Texas, ride or die, and no more AI chess in pictures. Yeah, it's going to be good. This is going to be a good election season. It is. We got some really good people on the ticket. We really do. Die and Breed Garage. Hey, Paul, glad to see you at it again. Let's take back our country. Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen. I'm with you. Jordan B. Miller. How about Mayor Bass versus the joke Pratt? Yeah, she whooped him. Bass whooped him in L.A. That was one of the ones that we're looking at. She whooped him. Crafty Ass Gardner gifted 5 Texas Paul members. Thank you. Thank you for being so generous. Folks, try the memberships out. They're free. Just snatch one up. Hit the join button down here in the middle and snatch it up. E.T. People yell about corporate campaign money and then don't do anything for those campaigns, donating time, money, etc., instead of yell about Citizens United. Amen, brother. I was with one of the local Democratic parties here the other day, and it was fantastic. These people were fired up. And we had a couple local candidates there that were talking, and I interjected. I said, look, people, I get it. There's a lot of people in this room that are senior citizens on a fixed budget, very little you can do financially. I get it. You get tired of people asking you for money, but let me let you in on a little inside secret. Bodies are better than money. They are. A donation of time is worth tenfold what you would donate in money. It is. Someone there to do the work, someone to postcard, someone to block walk, someone to help canvas, someone to help. Yeah, it's priceless. And you're like, well, I can't block walk because, I got old knees. That's okay. They will hook you up with a phone list. You can call people on behalf of the camp. There's so much you can do. I know a lady that makes sandwiches for campaigns. That's what she does. She brings sandwich plates when they'll have a get together. Well, they'll do block walks. She'll bring water, and when they get together and they do the phone banking, she'll bring sandwiches for everybody. There's so much you can do. I'm telling you, there is, and it makes a huge difference. Jordan B. Miller, as a Colorado voter, I was highly disappointed in Governor Polis, and he just crushed his chance of becoming the Democratic nominee for the Democratic Party for 2028. Yeah, that's out the window. It is. There's no way. He would have to do some very drastically bold shit over the next little while to even be considered for vice president. Melissa Grubb, Tina Peters is batshit crazy. She is. I agree with that statement 100%. Corey, good to see you. California doesn't need a Fox News host or Trump supporter running our state. We are smarter than that. Amen. Doesn't this excite you, though? Doesn't this really excite you that this is who Becerra is running against? Oregon Winder, hey, Paul, I wasn't the one that sent the pizza. I thought you were. My bad. Did you hear big corporations may start voting? No, didn't hear that at all. Greg Edmond, trust me. No. Jordan B. Miller, Blanche kept the real fraud in place. Trump and his family never getting audited ever again. Yeah, they are really trying to do that, folks. That's something that I haven't talked about it, but one, because I was off, and two, there are no details behind this yet. There aren't. but it is something they are definitely trying to do. They are trying to get the DOJ somehow legally committed to never investigating or prosecuting or looking at any of the corruption that we're seeing right now out of the Trump campaign. They're really trying to do that. They're trying to figure out some way to codify it into law. This is insane. Insane. Rock and Ron, good to see you. Good to see you, sir. Glad to see you here. A couple more, we're going to get back to work. DM Cardello, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Welcome back. I'd love to hear your prepared remark on AI and data centers in a future episode. We've talked about data centers a few times, and I will tell you this. I tell you what, I'll give you this right now. I'll give you this right now. I don't hate AI as a concept. I don't. I love technological advances, and I think there will be some uses for it. They are wildly overselling what its capability, what it's going to be able to do. And they keep telling you, when you point out the shortcomings of it, they're like, oh, well, it will get better. No, it's not. It's not. It just has shortcomings. It's code, man. It's freaking code. It's going to have shortcomings. It is not what they're selling it to be. And two, and I'm going to do a whole show on the challenges we face in the two different directions the parties are going in dealing with that challenge. We're going to talk about that. We're an aging population, and we're facing some financial challenges. The parties are going two separate directions, and AI is part of that. But I will say to you, financially, the numbers they're putting up about AI, I was watching one of these guys talking about their goal is 60% of the GDP coming from AI, which falls into that, we're an aging population. They're trying to sell it as making it okay that we're becoming an older country. That makes no sense whatsoever financially. None. That math doesn't math. And even if you could do it, which they can't, which is what they have to do to make any of this to make financial sense, and it's not. But even if you could meet that delusion of 60% of GDP, okay, your economy just disintegrated because AI doesn't rent apartments. AI doesn't buy homes. AI doesn't shop at your local grocery store. AI doesn't buy cars. AI doesn't. Are you getting where I'm going? Yeah, none of this. I'm not against AI as a concept, or I'm not anti technology in any way, shape, or form. But it's bullshit what they're trying to do. And then on top of it, we don't have the infrastructure for it. We're facing a real drinking water crisis in this country. And they're wanting to, there's a lot to it, my man. That was a great question, brother. Thanks for asking it. That's I'm going to jump off there. I'll come back and read some more of your questions here, more of your comments here in a minute. But I want to point out, I want to stay on the Democrats are really, really, they're pulling some great comments out of Blanche. You're going to see this a lot over the next 6 months. You are. And the Democrats are doing a great job of absolutely getting it out there. I wish you saw more of this on social media. I really do. I wish there were more people willing to wear the jersey, to be pro-Democrat and not try to seem smart and clicks by shitting on Democrats, because this is the kind of thing, this is Joe Morrell. He just kills it here.
I was just curious, just as a follow-up to Mr. Ivy's line of question, is it your testimony that if someone paid the President of the United States $1 million for a pardon, that would not violate federal law?
That is not my testimony.
What is your testimony about?
My testimony is that the power to pardon in our Constitution is not limited. So what I mean by that is the president doesn't have to say why he's pardoning.
No, I didn't say that. I'm asking you though. So if someone wrote in the memo of a check for $1 million to the president of the United States, any president, said for issuance of a pardon, would that be a violation of federal law?
Yes,
It would.
potentially. I would.
Under
depend
what
on the-
section
on
of-
the facts? I think there would be a
You just said it
violation of
was
the bribery law. Yes.
bribery law, even though the Constitution gives you unlimited power as
The
president.
person that paid the bribe would be,
Okay.
for the president himself who accepted the money, I think you would need to impeach him in that case.
Gotcha.
At least under my reading of the Constitution.
Just wanted to make sure I understood what you were saying. I was just curious.
So yeah, he gets Todd Blanche to say, no, not for the president. Oh yeah, the person writing the check, bribing him. Oh yeah, crime for them. They get prosecuted. President, not so much. Not so much. You're going to have to convince Republicans to impeach the sitting president, but which isn't going to happen. But yeah, for the president, nah, he can take that money. Kudos for getting that on the record. Even Cletus can understand that. Wait, you just said for the person that wrote the check, it's a crime, but the person that took the check, it's not? No, even Cletus gets that. They do. And as far as Democrats coming out punching and doing a good job, they are. Here's my man, Hakeem Jeffries. They just went to an ICE facility in New Jersey. Now, folks, flip the script. Democratic president, bunch of Republicans go to an ICE facility. Is that news? Does that make the news? Do you hear about it? Of course. They would have cameras there to greet them as they walked out so that they could get their raw emotional responses. Democrats went. Did a camera show up? No, not one. You had to have the next Speaker of the House call attention to it for anybody. Be honest, did any of you even know the Democrats just went to an ICE facility in New Jersey? Did any of you even know it happened? And it's not for Democrats talking about it. It's because the media won't cover it because they're biased. We're going to talk about Scott Pelley here in a little bit. You're going to see. You're going to see. You're going to see. But this is Hakeem Jeffries talking about it.
Donald Trump promised that immigration enforcement in this country under his so-called leadership was going to target the worst of the worst. That's what he said. They were going to target violent felons. They're not targeting violent felons. I didn't see any violent felons at Delaney Hall, which I visited with other members of the New Jersey delegation on Sunday. I saw people who were entrepreneurs, who were active, productive members of their community. I saw an 18-year-old teenage girl who's been in custody for months and was ripped away from her family, her community, and her classmates, and was being held as of Sunday, just a month prior to her graduation. It's not the worst of the worst. And so there's no circumstance where Democrats can support Donald Trump's violent ICE mass deportation machine, and the American people don't support it.
Sorry, muted. They're talking about it. They're doing the work. They're calling attention to it where they can, but the media is just not participating. The media is all in on the Republicans. The Broligarchs have bought our media. I mean, you know, this just happened. Scott Pelley was fired over at 60 Minutes. You know, Scott Pelley was one of the few people. I didn't agree with everything 60 Minutes did, and I didn't agree with everything Scott Pelley said. But just because I didn't agree with it didn't mean I thought he was lying or being untruthful. I never thought the guy was a liar, ever. He was a straight shooter, and he's out. He's fired over at 60 Minutes. Barry Weiss and her little minion have fired Scott Pelley, and Scott Pelley's not, he has no fucks left to give. He is really putting it out there. I mean, he's telling everybody exactly why. This is part of his statement. You should go read his statements. Just Google it about what Scott Pelley has to say. 60 Minutes has been the number one program in America for decades because our beloved audience finds integrity, quality, and humanity in our stories, Pelley wrote. The new owner of our network is casting this legend aside, apparently to curry a moment of favor with the Trump administration. Pelley added that new management had instructed him to, quote, to inject falsehoods and bias into a politically sensitive story, unquote, and to include, and quote, to include assertions that are unverified, unquote. Quote, incompetence and unprofessionalism in the new management have wreaked havoc, he wrote, adding that one of his programs came within 19 minutes of not getting on the air. So yeah, Scott Pelley's telling you it's a clusterfuck over there. It is. They're asking him to say things that are not true. They're asking him to be politically biased, and he's not going to do it. They're asking him to say unverified claims, and he's telling you. He is telling you what is going on. Contrast that with this. I love to point out good follows for our community. I'm not that person that says, oh, you just have to listen to me. Everything's about me. It's all about me in Texas, Paul. You got to, no. If you're going to be well-versed, if you're going to be powerful, you've got to have good information. And there are good people out there doing a good job. And this is one of them. This is Juliet Jeske, pardon me. She does a fantastic job on Blue Sky. Her account is called Decoding Fox News. And she just does a great job. Compare what you hear out of Scott Pelley with this. She did a super cut of Jesse Waters' statements over the last little bit about Iran.
Bombs are flying and the mullahs are lying. Do we have a deal? Fox News alert, the president has just pulled the plug on his Camp David cabinet meeting and ordered everybody to report to the White House tomorrow to solve the Iran situation once and for all. Over the weekend, the president called the Arabs and said he's only going to sign the deal and reopen the strait if they join the Abraham Accords. They all have skin in the game. And Trump says if the gay Ayatollah doesn't give us his John Hancock soon, he'll blow up. No dust, no deal.
Sorry, muted. My bad. But yeah, Jesse Waters You just heard that right. He called Moshtaba Khomeini the gay Ayatollah. Yeah, I'm not even going to finish playing this. This is just pathetic. The shit that they say. He just called Moshtaba Khomeini the gay Ayatollah. We killed his wife. We killed his son. And you wonder why your drunk ass uncle is such an idiot. You wonder why the average right-winger doesn't know shit about what's going on. You wonder why they're so stupid and hateful and bigoted. Speaking of which, before we continue on about Iran, we're going to talk about Iran just a little bit. Yeah, this just happened. Pride Month. So Andy Ogles, loudmouth Andy Ogles, has to come out and say something fucking awful. Kudos to his leadership for dropping the hammer on him and making him delete it. But it doesn't matter. He said it. He said, gays don't belong in America. No gays belong in America. If you're gay, you shouldn't be in America. You know what that tells me? That tells me Andy Ogles is so deep into the closet, he's found Narnia. That's the only people, self-loathing people are the only people that talk that way. I can't prove it, but I'm telling you, if you put a gun to my head and said, you have to guess right, is Andy Ogles closeted? If you're wrong, I would guess he's closeted, just on this statement alone. They're hateful, they're awful, ugly, miserable, small little people. And this is all they have. It's all they have. Yeah, and I cannot tell you, I laugh so freaking hard because they think it's an insult. I cannot tell you how many times, I'll put a statement out that's a hard-hitting statement, and what the idiots come back with, the MAGA trolls come back, you're gay. You're gay. Bruh. If I were, so what? If I were, so what? Yeah, they think come on, man. You are the dumbest, weakest, smallest little childish people. You are. You're just pathetic. And watching Jesse Waters say the stupid shit that they're saying, you know why they are the way they are. They have no access to the information that you have access to. They don't. They don't know. I mean, first of all, they'll never ask the question, what the hell is going on with Trump's eye? We're going to dig into Iran real quick for just a few minutes. But what the hell is going on with Trump's eye? Can one of you folks that have a medical background, I mean, we saw that his legs are so swollen up, they're literally flopping over his shoes. What the hell is going on with that eye? This is not doctored. This is not altered. This was put out on a right-wing blog. What the hell is going on with that eye? I wish somebody with some medical background would tell me what causes that kind of swelling. Because the rest of it, now I've seen a black eye before. That ain't that. That is not it. That is not a black eye. Nobody punched him in the eye. You don't get that much swelling around an eye without some swelling in the cheek and face. And you know what I'm saying? You don't. There's something going on there.
What do you say to people who claim that Bibi Netanyahu tricked you into going into Iran?
Well, they're just, the enemy. They're just, the Democrats, DUM. These are Democrats. These are people that don't know what they're doing. They want men playing in women's sports, and they want open borders so the world can pour into our country. And they want.
Now, what I want you to take from this, one, he doesn't answer the question. He doesn't, what do you say to people? Because people clearly believe that Benjamin Netanyahu owned your ass here. And he did. He 100% did. But this is why Trump is not absolutely destroyed like every other president would be, oh my God, that is so funny. Paxton Eye syndrome. Oh my God, Benaloco. There you go. Given everything that he's done, the inflation, the stupid war in Iran, all of the disasters that have been Trump, one thing after, Venezuela, everything, the destruction of our relationship with our allies, all of it. Any other president would be there. This is why Trump is not destroyed at this point, because this is all they care about. That's it. Just talk shit about Democrats. It's really that simple, folks. That old bigoted shit that Lyndon Baines Johnson tried to tell us so long ago. It's real. Do you remember what LBJ said? You take the lowest white man and you tell him he's better than the best black man, you won't have to pick his pockets. He'll turn his pockets out for you. Yeah, it's really that simple. They're a bunch of bigots that want to that they've been telling each other, and they've been told they're better than you. Their churches tell them that. Every aspect of it, and that's all that matters to them. They don't give a shit if the country's destroyed. They don't, unless it affects them and their benefits. They don't care in the slightest. They don't care at all. They don't care. All they care about is that identity that, I'm it, man. I'm great because, I'm better than them. I'm better than them Democrats. I'm better than them people of color. I'm better than, it's really that simple. That's why he can give this response. And it's why he isn't absolutely destroyed for this. He was literally just led into a war, stupidly, that nobody else ever got into. And he can answer this way, and it will work for them. I know what you're hearing. You're sitting there saying, this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Of course he was drug into this by Netanyahu. Of course he did this for Israel. Of course he was an idiot. Of course he was a fool. Of course it was tactically stupid and they had no plan. That's what you're hearing. But Cletus, no. Cletus is getting reassured that he's better than you.
Transgender for everybody, surgery. They want transgender mutilization of our children. No, these are just words. That's all they do. It's all they're good for is words. Like, I heard that the other day for the first time. I said, he tricked me.
They gonna come transgenderify your kids. They are. Little Cletus Jr., they're gonna make him a girl. They are. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I just need you to be aware that he's talking about this while stuff like this is happening. This is happening. Yeah. We just blew up basically an oil tanker. Of course, it wasn't one of China's, and it wasn't one of our allies. It wasn't. This was one owned by private equity out of a company in Suriname. It's a ship called the Lexi. It's owned by a company in Suriname. It's their only vessel. He didn't pick a fight. Bullies don't pick a fight with people that can punch them back. They picked a boat that they really didn't know anything about it. They just claim it was going to an Iranian port and it wouldn't stop when they told them to stop. So they blew it up. But they picked that ship on purpose. China's ships are going right through. Yeah, they're not touching China's ships. No, that's not happening. But yeah, it has gotten awful again. And again, folks, Wall Street have to be the dumbest sons of bitches on the face of the planet. They do. They do. They fell for this shit again. The Dow took off and, oil prices plunged. And because Trump said, man, we got a deal. We got a deal. Old Texas Paul said, no, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. But they moved billions of dollars based on that again. Meanwhile, here we are again. Iranian officer says renewed war with the U.S. seems inevitable as Israel and Hezbollah keep fighting. Yeah. Yeah. Iran just responded to the tanker, fired a bunch of missiles and drones into Kuwait. But all they're reporting is the airport, but they also hit one of our bases in Kuwait. Yeah. Sound like a peace deal is going on to you? Does it sound like a peace deal is going on to you? And of course, all is, the calm leadership. They've got a plan. I'm sure everything's just fine, right? Everything's just fine. No, Trump and Netanyahu are cussing at each other, screaming at each other, because Trump realizes how screwed he is. And he was stupid enough to do what Netanyahu said. And he can't control him. That's where we are. You know what? I wonder what the Dow's doing today. Just looking. Oh, yeah. I guess they realized how stupid they were last week. Again. I wonder what's going on. Oil prices plummeted. West Texas Intermediate got into the high 80s, which is still high as hell, but it's not over 100. I wonder what oil prices are doing today. West Texas Intermediate crude. Oh yeah, back up to $96 a barrel. Again, the people on Wall Street have to be the dumbest sons of bitches on the face of the planet. They do. They just do. And folks, look, I don't want to drag you down here. I don't. We're a community. We're the ride or die community. We're a community, and I care. Don't take my word for it. Go talk to other people. Go listen to other people. They're telling you the exact same thing. We're fucked. We have officially crossed the line of no return on oil reserves. We are fucked. If they opened up the strait today, yeah, Mr. Global's a good one. He'll concur with what I'm telling you. I'm sure. I am sure you can find. I am sure. Tag him on this. Whatever. I'm sure he will concur. We have crossed the line to where if they opened, there are futures prices that are dictated by those fucking morons on Wall Street. And then there are the prices that refiners actually pay, physical prices for the oil. Those two things last week went two very different directions. Because you can believe all you want. You can be a Trump ball licking piece of shit and Trump's fixed this. It's okay now. It's okay. It's sell the futures. You can be that freaking guy. But the guy at the refinery is like, shit, I ain't got any oil to buy. Oh, you want 140 a barrel? Okay, I got to have it. Give it to me. Folks, refiners across Europe are going negative. Do you know what that means? That means they're losing money. How do you lose money? The same fucking guy that bankrupt casinos are making oil refiners lose money. Yeah, they are. They're losing money because of this upside down bullshit, because what they have to pay for the physical price they have to pay for oil versus what they're getting paid for their contracts after they refine it, it's already started. This is going to happen starting next week in Asia. They're going to go upside down. And when that happens, they stop refining. They cut way back, just enough to keep revenues moving. That's it, because they're losing money. When that happens in Asia, you immediately, China and India are the manufacturing hubs for the world, folks. When they run out of oil, that's it. Think what happened in COVID. Think about the inflation that came out of COVID. That's what you're looking at. And we've already crossed that line. Now, this is something I see a lot. We're going to have gas rationing and products won't be available. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not where we're at. We're at the point where the prices skyrocket, because that's what happened before the gas rationing happened, is prices skyrocketed. That's what's about to happen. Your gas prices, you think they're high now? Let's put a pin in this. Let's come back next month and talk about it. That's if they did a deal today. And Iran knows this. They know they have Trump by the shorties. And all Trump cares about is a good soundbite for Fox. It's all he cares about. Something he can sell. And the nuclear shit isn't it, because everybody knows we already had a deal that he blew up. And he will never get, and the Iranians know it. They know it. They've got the cards. Folks, just prepare a little bit. I'm not telling you to hoard. I am telling you, if you've got to have something that's vital to you, perhaps put it on your shelf. Don't leave it at the store shelf. Put it on your shelf. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. That's the kind of thing I'm telling you. Thomas King, glad you're back. So happy politics is back in session. I love that term, politics. Love it. Jeremy Breeden, Ossoff was getting the fact bat out when talking about Republicans during a speech. Yeah, Ossoff is killing it, man. He is. There are Democrats out there raising hell, and the media will not give them a second of time. They won't. And then you get these freaking idiots on social media. Oh, the Democrats need to just shut up, dude. Just shut up. ET, American politics has forever changed. Get on board. Yep. Amen. Welcome, RV all day. Welcome. Glad to see the new members. Glad to see the new 5-month membership. Let me take my hat off for you, sir. 5 months. There you go. Donna Circuit. I said, sir, I'm sorry. Donna Circuit. I read it as Dawn first. Forgive me. Donna Circuit, ma'am. Thank you. Why is Landry sending fracking waste to Texas? Yeah, that's an issue that's been going on for a while. I live in East Texas, and there are towns here that voted Republican that are now horrified because they have pits full of highly toxic chemicals being poured all around their precious little houses here in their small towns in East Texas. And their little small towns don't have the money to fight these oil companies, and they don't have a government that's got their back. That's going on. They're fracking in Louisiana and dumping the waste, the highly toxic, sometimes radioactive waste here in East Texas. That's happening. Omniscient Sphinx, don't forget that Trump is trying to put walls in so his business and family can't be investigated by government. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. That's what we were talking about. Max Roy, welcome. Welcome. Oregon Wine Lady sent you the peach. Martha Stiegel, there you go. Martha, I'm sorry, Martha. I apologize, Martha. I do. We talked about this in an email. I know you're the one that sent me. I don't know why I was thinking brain lockup. Sorry, Martha. I do apologize. That was very generous of you. That was great stuff, by the way, too. This stuff rocks. If you've never had the anniversary blend Pete's, I'll do a little commercial for Pete's right now. That stuff is great, man. Normally, to get flavor out of coffee, you're going to get a certain amount of bitter with it. Almost none. It's fantastic. It really is. I apologize, Martha. That was very generous of you. Thank you. Max Roy, I don't see Rosie Jetson cleaning my apartment. Yeah. Jordan B. Miller, Democrats are unified in message. Yeah, we're doing a good job if you listen to them. Marta Ossoff is killing it in his speeches. Yep. There are several Democrats out there that are on fire. Melissa Grubb, Dems need a clear message soon for the midterms and definitely a Project 2029 laying out all of the things we can do if we get a supermajority. You know, they've got one, but who's telling it to you? You've got to be here to hear their messaging. You've got to be in places like this to hear their messaging. You do, because the media is not going to give it to you. It's not. You've got to be the person. Melissa, you've got to be the person that takes that message and says, hey, did you hear this? Force it out. When you hear it, force it out. Put it out on your social media. You be the messenger, because I guarantee you the Broligarch-owned media isn't going to. And again, it's not, you can see people that are telling you, man, my rep's on fire. My senator's on fire. You know what I mean? That's the only way you're going to hear about it. E.T., these idiots are thinking that not being under oath while still on the record means that they can say things and it won't come back to hit them. Legally, it might not, but politically, it definitely will. Melissa Grubb, bring back the fairness doctrine and include the cable news organizations. Lies have no place in media. I'm telling you, these media companies, I don't even know if they're redeemable at this point. Richard, when 60 Minutes is attacked, so it is with our democracy. Amen. Amen. You've got to have press. You've got to have people speaking out, or it's vital to any democracy. M. Zephyr, mass deport homophobes. Yeah, tell me about it, brother. Tell me about it. E.T., whenever I go to a pride event, I constantly ask people why they have not brought back the pink triangle, and they don't even know what it means. Yeah, no. I'm not touching that one, brother. I'm not touching that one. You're going to have to reword that. I'm not touching that one. Skeet's there because I know what you're talking about. I'm sure he gets a super elixir. Tube Kurt, Paul, did you see Ogles threw an unnamed employee under the bus for taking his phone and posting that tweet? Oh, they always do. They always do. Oh, it wasn't me. It's somebody else. Yeah, bullshit. Silly Bebo, he's been around Paxton too long. Paxton is icky and contagious. Talking about his Paxton eye. Skeet Sayre, he does not remember the question. Nope. He's Loopy as hell. Jordan B. Miller, Trump is suffering with BODS, otherwise known as Biden-Obama derangement syndrome. Tell me about it. Everything. Blame it on Biden. Blame it on Obama. Trying to blame gas prices on Biden and Obama. E.T., those same churches want to bring about the rapture. Yep. Couple more and we'll get back to work. Skeet Sayre, there was a video done with a class of kids. They were told the kids with blue eyes were better than brown. The next day, it was reversed. Wow. There's so much shit going on in this country that just jaw dropping. And they think it's okay. They think it's not going to come back to bite them. I'm telling you, we cannot let no moving forward. No moving forward at all. Glenn Kaneko, thank you for being so generous. Thank you for gifting the memberships. No moving beyond this shit. Your homophobia, your bigotry, you're going to own it. You're going to own it. You know, black people forever put up with shit. You know, the old stereotypical proverbial black man's walking down the sidewalk. So, you know, people move to the other sidewalk. Woman, you know, black man gets into an elevator and a woman clutches her purse. You remember all that stereotypical shit? Yeah, that's old white dudes now. You see an old white dude, somebody that looks like me, you make them prove they aren't a bigot. You make them prove they aren't deranged. You make them prove that they aren't a detriment to this country. Yeah, that's where we're at. They were okay when it was black people and Mexican people or people of color that were being judged. I wonder if they're going to be okay when it's them being judged. I'm okay with proving who I am. My track record is wide open. My track record is well documented. That's fine. Hey, hold me to account. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I wonder how these old bigot sons of bitches are going to feel when people are crossing the street so that their kids aren't anywhere near them, because every one of these damn churches ends up with somebody diddling kids, raping kids in them. You know, I wonder how they're going to feel. I wonder if it's going to hit home that that's how they've been treating people of color forever. Because I'm telling you, it's over. The era of the old white dude is over. It is over. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. If you think I'm wrong on that. But I see an old white guy, I immediately assume Trump tard. Yeah, I do. Skeet Sayre, Yosemite Sam is disturbed in Ohio. Is Wall Street falling for it, or Oregon, or profiting off the taco? I buy maybe the beginning they were duped. Now they're just raking it in. You know, for every one of those winners, there has to be a loser. So every one of those people that are and I agree, they are manipulating. There's a loser also on Wall Street that fell for this shit. Yeah. E.T., the stock market is dancing like they were at the dance of the Red Death. Are you ready to get involved when we do the work? Amen, brother. Amen. Skeet Sayre, and you made fun of Canada. We will enjoy being in the. I didn't make fun of Canada. I didn't. You see that right there? I didn't make fun of Canada. We will enjoy being in the EU. They can refine our stuff too. Yeah. Canada, y'all have been very intelligent about this. Mark Carney was a good choice, and he's been doing well. He has. We've got so much work to do here in the States after we clean up. After we clean up in the elections, we have so much work to do. ET Commander Bobby Jones recently has said that we have given Iran a proverbial nuke, and these clowns don't realize it. Yeah, we did. We did. Anita, what he's talking about is they don't need a nuclear weapon. They don't need the expense of a nuclear weapon. I keep telling you, they're going to bargain that away. They don't want nuclear weapons. Are a pain in the ass, worthless weapon. They don't want it. They're going to bargain that away. But yeah, this veto power over the Strait of Hormuz is more power than a nuclear weapon could ever bring them. Crafty ass Gardner, Mr. Global, the stock market is not the economy. It never has been. The stock market is a wealth measure for the top 10% of people in the country. The diesel demand number is an activity measure for everyone. Stagflation is coming. Yeah, we're starting to see diesel shortages already around the globe. The truth, F-47 said that he couldn't care less. Yeah. Disturbing Ohio. He's talking about when Trump said he never even thinks about the welfare of the American people, the financial well-being of the American people. He doesn't even think about it. Skeet Sarah, Elmer Fudd said he is going to shut down blue airports. Oh, Mark Wayne Mullen, that moron. The World Cup is about to happen. Here in the States, Canada, there's going to be some of the matches in Canada, some of the matches in Mexico. The World Cup is about to happen. And dipshit Mullen, the plumber, is talking about shutting down major airports here in the U.S. to attack Democrats. Yeah. That's it. I'm telling you. That's all these pieces of shit care about is, are you attacking Democrats? That's all they care about. Not governing, not doing the right thing. That's all they care. Are you attacking Democrats? Because I feel superior if you do that. That's it. This idiot. When the World Cup is about to happen, folks, and a lot of people don't follow soccer/football. They don't. They don't know how big it is. This is bigger than the Olympics, people. It is huge. And we've got this moron talking about closing airports. Our largest airports. These people are idiots. Gail Barnell, wheat harvest will be at decade low levels. Crops overall will be low because of fertilizer shortages, including rice and beans. Stock your pantry. Yes, I did a video on this. I've talked about it in previous shows. The wheat harvest this year sucked. And I need you to think about this, folks. It's not just bread. It's not just the hamburger buns. It's not just think about everything. You like chicken nuggets? That breading on chicken nuggets comes from wheat. You like everything we fry. It's used as a filler in tons of things. Yeah, that's all going up. Then next year's harvests aren't going to be very good because everybody's, I was just talking to one of the people. He's part of the community here. He gives me great information. He is a farmer. This is what he does for a living, man. He is a farmer. I don't mean a hobby farmer. I mean a farmer. And he was telling me they're buying diesel in small batches. All the farmers are doing it. And their co-op, their fuel co-op, is doing the same thing. Their supplier is buying diesel in small batches because they're just hoping the price of fuel goes down. Me being me, I immediately think, okay, that's going to bite you in the ass in the long run because fuel prices aren't going to go down anytime soon where you can make a big fuel purchase. But by buying it in small batches, you are increasing the transportation costs of that fuel. You're literally driving the cost of fuel up. And farmers across the country are doing this. They're not buying. Normally, they'll buy 25,000 gallons of diesel. No, they're buying 1,000 gallons just to see what happens with the prices. This is really happening, folks. And that means that's the price of your food we're talking about here. And these morons are talking about Democrats. It's the Democrats. Joe Biden did it. Talking about, just idiot. They're going to transgenderize little Cletus. The stupidest shit in the world. Robin the Hood, I am cash poor right now, still in your corner. I appreciate you. Thank you, Robin. Just being here is what's important. Thank you, though, for being very generous at a time when you're strapped. That touches my heart, man. Yeah, just be here. Just be here. Get the message out. That's what's important. By the way, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, take one of the free memberships and join. 5-month membership. Hats off to you. Hats off to you. Omniscient Sphinx. You know it's bad when spam is a luxury. Yeah, everything's going up. Everything. Mary McCunis. Is there another No Kings protest? Yes, there's one coming up. I'm getting the emails, the notifications are starting to come out on social media. We're about to have another No Kings protest. Dying Breed Garage. Paul, I've been buying one year of oil filters and canned goods. Iran's goal is to cripple us, and Donald J. Trump can't see 2 minutes ahead and don't care. Prepare. Ask him about what's going on with oil prices right now. Yeah, oil changes are getting to be. I've got to do an oil change on a couple pieces of equipment. Good God, the cost of oil is skyrocketing. I'm talking about lubricating oil. And there's talk that it won't be available soon. Michael Antonsu, Ossoff would be a great president one day. He's doing a great job. He really is doing a great job. Got to be grateful to Georgia. E.T. Pink Triangle was worn by gay. Yeah, I know where it was worn. I do. During the Holocaust, when they wanted to get rid of us, throwing that symbol back in their faces might help. E.T., I think they hate you so much, they wouldn't care. I do. I just think they hate you. They wouldn't care. It is less than 22 weeks until the general election. Verify your voter registration and deadline dates. Know your early voting dates. Get involved. Amen. Amen. Mother Mesquite, 5 months membership. Hats off to you. Hats off to you. Michael Anderson, thanks for being generous. Thanks for gifting the memberships. They're out there. They are out there. Spatial Dragonfly, thanks for the support. All right, just a couple more. We're going to get back to work because there's a couple things we've still got to talk about. We're running low on time. North Swiss, finally caught up with you today. Thanks for all the truth, motivation, and hope. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Jeff Schuler, old white guys have screwed this country up for far too long in the pursuit of wealth. I'm looking forward to when this changes for good. Totally fed up with the billionaire class. You know what? How about we just, whoever's good at this, you know what I mean? Let's just follow that person. I mean, you know, that's the whole point of this American melting pot thing. And let's just follow the people that know what the hell they're doing. And it ain't old white dudes right now. Chris R797, guess we're going to put potatoes in our planter beds instead of flowers. You know, a lot of people are doing that, folks. A lot of people are doing that. Converting flower beds over to vegetable gardens. Skeet's there, absolutely chilling. PBS caller said she lost 28 pounds and then almost broke down and sad because her SNAP benefits have been cut off. They don't care either. They don't care. They're awful, awful, just awful. All right, let's get back to work. This just happened, and this should scare the shit out of everybody. Bill Pulte has been named the acting director of national intelligence. Folks, the director of national intelligence oversees our entire intelligence community, all of it. Donald Trump says, I'm appointing the director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency and chairman of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, William J. Pulte, to serve as acting director of national intelligence. Blah, 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 blah. This is Bill Pulte. He is a nepo baby. He didn't have qualifications to have the job he is in, much less qualifications to be the DNI, the director of national intelligence. He has no qualifications at all. None. Nothing. He's a nepo baby. He is the grandson of billionaire Bill Pulte the elder from Pulte Homes. Do you remember Pulte Holmes? Yeah. His grandpa was a Republican sugar daddy, and that's all he is, man. That's all Bill Pulte is a nepo baby with no qualifications for this job at all, and he is now running our intelligence apparatus. He is. This is the same guy that abused his last position, and remember they went after Letitia James over quote mortgage fraud. You remember that? Turned out to be complete bullshit. He abused and weaponized his position for that. They went after Adam Schiff for mortgage fraud. Turned out to be complete bullshit. They beat the shit out of that. Judge ejected it. And when they were trying to take over the Fed, which is even scarier, one second, just got a note. But anyways, they went after Lisa Cook. Remember when they were trying to get her to resign from the Fed so Trump could put somebody on the Fed that will do what he wants instead of what's good for the country? They went after her for more. That all came out of Bill Pulte. That all came out of Bill Pulte. He abused his position and weaponized his position. There's one slight bit of silver lining. Republicans were okay with Bill Pulte doing that, but John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, has actually stepped up and basically said, don't put his name up. You're going to make him acting, but don't nominate him because I will not usher him through. He said, we don't need a weaponized director of national intelligence. Well, that's what you've got because they're just going to leave him acting forever and a day. That's where we're at. This fucking guy is running our intelligence operations because Tulsi Gabbard, you remember when, she was down there in the back of the truck gathering records and all the shit. She wouldn't be a big enough dick for Trump. She wouldn't be an attack dog enough for Trump. So Tulsi Gabbard had to go, and he replaced Tulsi Gabbard with Bill Pulte, who is absolutely going to abuse his office. And that is an office that you can abuse. You can. The DNI has access to everything about you. Think your phone listens to you? You have no idea the information the Director of National Intelligence has on you. You have no idea. You think DuckDuckGo is hiding your browsing history? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah. No, that's a bad thing. That is a really bad thing. We're going to have to keep an eye on what happens and what abuses come out of it because he is right now acting. He is the acting DNI. But folks, there's something that popped up on my radar. And again, please listen to me when I tell you this. Put a few things in the pantry. Get a container of water. I'm talking about one of the big containers of water, at least one. I'm not telling you to hoard. I'm not. I'm telling you, put some dry goods, put some canned goods in the pantry. Get a little water in your house. Do it. Do it. I've been watching the private credit crisis for a while. And if you follow me on social media, I've made a couple of videos about it. I think we're about to see something blow up. I think it's happening right now because this is the third time this has happened. If you don't know what private, after the 2007, 2008 banking collapse, a lot of regulation came out of it. to circumvent that regulation, the broligarchs, the billionaires said, fine, we'll just create banks that aren't banks. And then you got the online pseudo banks, and then you got the private lenders, which, just pointed as a disclosure, when I mortgaged this house, I used a private lender. I did. Got an incredible rate. Paid that off a long time ago, but yeah, I used a private lender. They're out there. It's a thing. They're in trouble. They're in deep, deep, deep trouble. They are. It's all collapsing. This happened day before yesterday. Cliffwater, again, a lender you've never heard of. I mean, you know who JP Morgan is. You know who, you know them. You know who Goldman Sachs is. You know Berkshire Hathaway. You know all of the big banks. You know who those are. You've never heard of Cliffwater. They have hundreds of billions of dollars in loans out. They just got hit with a 17% request for redemption. What that is the money behind them that gives them the money to loan out, 17% in one of their major funds said, give me my money back. I'm redeeming. Give me my money back. They said, no, we will not. There's only one reason they will do that. Only one. They capped redemptions at 5%. Everybody else, you don't get your money back. There's only one reason they would do that, and that's because the fund would collapse. This has happened before. It happened again 2 days ago. Then this happened this morning. Another one of these major funds you've never heard of, Partners Group. How many of you knew Partners Group even existed? Yeah, everybody's freaking out because the same thing happened to them. Mass redemptions. And they said, no, you can't have your money back. Yeah, that's what happens when you have unregulated lending institutions, is they can actually tell you, we're not going to give you your money back. And it's happening over and over and over and over again. These funds, are taking it. They're taking the hit because they know if they allow people to redeem, their funds collapse. This is happening real time. They're telling you it's happening. People want to run on these institutions and get their money back. And these institutions are telling them, no, you can't have it back. You can't have it back. This is really happening, folks. Don't take my word for it. I want you, after the show, take a few minutes, Google private credit crisis. Everybody, and this is the part that's killing me about this, is people keep writing articles that say, oh yeah, private credit is screwed, man. They're screwed. But it won't affect the big banks because the big banks aren't exposed to it. Bullshit. It's just like oil, man. Yes, we pump enough oil out of the ground that we should be able to meet our needs, but it doesn't matter when the rest of the world has a shortage because the companies are going to sell to them. It's going to drive our prices up. It's going to cause shortages there or shortages here. It's the same thing with private equity. when Johnny Got Rocks loses his ass, he's going to liquidate on other markets. There is no way. And that is the terrifying part about this, is that is the answer these people keep giving. These Wall Street fucking morons keep saying the exposure is just in the private equity market. It's not in, the big banks won't. Bullshit. Bullshit. What do you think they're going to do with their investments when this fund collapses and Johnny Got Rock still has money over here? What do you think he's going to do? You think he's just going to sit and watch this just evaporate? Or is he going to liquidate assets over here to try to save this? They're really saying that, folks. They're really, it's okay. It's okay because it's only private lenders. It won't spread into the other banks. They're really saying that's why this is okay. None of them are saying that it's not going to collapse. None of them are saying that private lending is not in crisis. They know it's happening. They know it. I mean, this is the worst kept secret in the world right now. They know this is happening. You want to know how they know? Scott Bessent just bought a ton of treasuries back. Yeah. Not for quantitative easing. He bought a ton of treasuries back just to have liquidity. Just to have liquidity. $14 billion worth of the bonds that they bought back mature in 2 years. The overwhelming majority, they just did a $14 billion buyback. They mature in 2 years. If it was quantitative easing, they would have bought bonds that are maturing much sooner than that. No, this is because they're trying to time the collapse to make sure that they have liquid, they have assets they can pump into the, they know this is happening. They know this is happening. They know they're failing. And all they're trying to do is get through the midterms talking about they transgenderize your kids at school. Ask your school nurse how many kids she's transgender, she's performed sex changes on. Ask your school nurse. Lillywigs, so glad to have you back. Was having withdrawals. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Thank you. 2-month membership. New membership. There you go. Growing the community. Paxor, welcome. Welcome. Netadal, good to see you. Good to see you. Glad to see our Danish people in the house. Denmark just got a new government today, but we have the same prime minister and foreign minister. It will be an exciting future for this country. Yeah, I'm telling you, our European brothers and sisters are watching this shit go on, and they're like, no, we're not doing stupid shit right now. We're just not. We're not. Even Giorgia Meloni in Italy, the fascist, the out and out. I'm not calling her a fascist. She calls herself a fascist. She's running the same direction as the rest of Europe. I mean, they're all like, no, we're not doing stupid shit right now. We're not. No. And of course, we've got the bumbling British Brexit Brit that's going to try to run for governor in California. I just love it. I love it. Skeet Sayre, the dumbest of the three stooges, is going to be chief spy. Yeah. He is completely unqualified. He has no experience as a diplomat. He has no experience as a cop. He has no experience in intelligence. He is now the head of arguably the most powerful nations on earth, complete intelligence apparatus. Let that sink in. And he got the job because he'll attack who Trump tells him to attack. He will abuse his authority. That's why he's got the job. Tiger Butterfly, I'm glad you're back. I've missed your knowledge. I'm glad 5 months. 5-month membership. I'm telling you guys have been, I love you foundational folks that have been around from the beginning. Thank you. Weird Idaho Liberal, at the bottom of Pandora's box, there's hope, staying Jedi weird and looking forward to the reckoning. Yep, I'm telling you folks, we got to get through this midterm. We got a clean house. HR puffing stuff. Welcome. Julie Snow, so proud to be a member. Thank you for everything you do. 4-month membership. Salute. Glad you're here. Melissa Grubb, do credit unions operate the same as banks? Are they more secure than a bank? No, they don't operate the same as banks. They do many of the same functions, but no, they do not operate the same way as banks. And yes, they tend to be more secure. They do, because there are limitations on how they can invest, what they invest. Not always. I am not your financial advisor. I do not give you financial advice. I am not telling you to go dive into a credit union. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just answering a question. Yes, credit unions tend to be more secure than banks. They do. They tend to be more conservative, not politically conservative, but conservative financially with your money. Tiger Claw, welcome. Glad to see the new members. Glad to see us grow. Mark Rosenberger, member, 4 months. Welcome. Glad you are here, sir. Glad you're a part of the community. Mike Daly, the Den. Think about it, y'all. Trump scares Maloney, a member of the Mussolini fan club. Yeah. No shit, man. Tiger Butterfly. HER said that there's a way around the laws and regulations for the position that Pulte is occupying. He will be able to serve 210 days times 2 if a legal nominee is not nominated. Yeah. He's going to be in there for a long time, folks. He is. ET, they know that all of the credit use is propping up the economy, that there is a hard stop coming soon. When they all default, it's coming soon, people. They're trying desperately to prevent this from happening before the midterms. They're literally pumping billions into this to try to prevent it from happening before the midterms. Agent Cajun John, I'm back in Canada, back to see at least one daughter this morning. I'm chilling now, drinking coffee that tastes like bourbon. Glad to see you made it, brother. Glad to see you made it. I hate to see that you're gone, but I'm glad to see that you made it. Dave Bond, seems like Trump is trying to destroy our country. None dare call it a coup. Oh, man. Last one. Netadal. Even here in Denmark, we have been advised to have a small supply of food and water for a few days and cash. Yes. It's just common sense, folks. It's just common sense. I saw somebody ask, do I think the water systems, are they going to collapse? Some will. Folks, some will. So yeah, it's only prudent to have a little water on hand. It's just smart. It is. I tell you what we do. We keep, you know what I'm talking about. Those plastic wrap, we get ours at Sam's. They have them at Costco. The big rectangular cube of water. We keep 2. And then as we empty one, we'll go replace it and put the new one on the bottom of the stack and keep rotating it so that we've always got 2 on hand. Always. I recommend that you do the same. Water's not expensive yet. Well, look, folks, I hope you found what we talked about today useful. I thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Enjoy some Texas cities at night.